Breaking news overnight. New York City Mayor Eric Adams indicted by a federal grand jury following a corruption investigation. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky is at City Hall with the details. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. This is unprecedented. 110 men have served as mayor of New York City. None has been criminally charged while in office until now. This morning, the stunning news jolting the nation's largest city. A federal grand jury handing up an indictment against New York Mayor Eric Adams, the first sitting mayor in the city's history to be charged with a crime. The charges remain sealed, but Adams is already calling them entirely false and proclaiming his innocence.
It is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target.
Adams has been under federal investigation for nearly a third of his tenure. Last November, the FBI confronted him with a subpoena and took his electronic devices. Authorities began by looking into his fundraising and whether his campaign accepted illegal foreign contributions. But the investigation expanded to look into possible fraud involving city contracts and how the police enforced regulations governing bars and clubs. The police commissioner resigned 2 weeks ago. The school's chancellor just announced his retirement. Their phones were seized too. The FBI issued subpoenas to 2 deputy mayors and several top police officials.
I'm not aware of any wrongdoing or misgivings from anyone on my team.
Adams had been lauded as a new face of the Democratic Party. He led the city through the end of the pandemic, oversaw a drop in crime, even changed the way New Yorkers take out the trash to reduce rats. But this morning, he's facing growing calls from within his own party to resign. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying, "I do not see how Mayor Adams can continue governing New York City." Adams says he's going nowhere.
Make no mistake, you elected me to lead this city, and lead it I will.
Despite his public confidence, Adams spent the night huddled with attorneys and advisors plotting his next move. Just a few minutes ago at Gracie Mansion, the FBI showed up, George, with a summons for the mayor to appear in court. George.
Okay, Aaron, thanks. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. Dan, the scope of this is just stunning. So many top officials in New York City under investigation. Now the mayor under indictment. It's not unsealed yet, but it's got to be serious.
Right. It can't just be a single campaign finance violation, right? This is not going to be a situation where one individual gave a donation that was beyond the permissible amount. There's going to be action associated with this, something that they believe that the mayor did as a response to getting that donation, pay for play, in effect. But the real question is going to be, is there more to this than just illegal campaign finance violations? As you heard Aaron talking about there, this investigation took them into completely different areas where other members of his administration are now in trouble. The question is going to be, is he in trouble for some of that as well?
We just heard Aaron say federal agents now at Gracie Mansion. What happens next?
They'll allow him to surrender. Think about what happened with Senator Bob Menendez, right? They announced that there would be an indictment on like a Friday. They gave him till the following Wednesday to surrender. I expect the same sort of thing here, which is they're informing him now that he's going to be indicted. They'll say to him, turn yourself in by early next week.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much.